Well, what about saving for retirement? That's also a concern. Should you pay off your debt first before you start trying to save for retirement?
But that's a good question. I get that one often. To me, I like to take a balanced approach. I think you can do both at the same time. What I would focus on having first, though, is an emergency fund. What is an emergency fund? It's 3 to 6 months worth of expenses that you have a set aside in a savings account or even a money market account to get a little higher interest rates. But have that emergency fund first. Get that in place. Very important, right? Because we all have emergencies, right? We never know when the AC is going to go out. We never know we're going to blow a tire. We never know when little Johnny's going to get sick. Whatever. Not you, little Johnny. You're big Johnny. But anyway, you never know when those happen. So the reason that is so important is that let's say you are saving for retirement, but you don't have the emergency fund. Guess what you're going to tend to do? You're going to dip into the retirement. See, that defeats the whole purpose,
Yes.
right? That defeats the whole purpose. So I would get that emergency fund in place by putting $50 a month, $100 a month, whatever you can, to where you get to 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Well, let me ask this question. How do you determine whether it's 3 months for you or 6 months for you? Because I said 3 to 6 months. How do you determine that gauge, right? Well, I always tell people it's by your profession. If it's relatively easy in your profession to find another job in that same profession, well, you may only need 3 months, okay? Because you can get a job relatively quickly, or at least within 3 months. Here's a perfect example. If I'm a cook at Hardee's, it should be relatively easy for me to find another job because I can go across the street to McDonald's probably and get hired there, right? Or some mom and pop restaurant. So as a cook, it should be relatively easy for me to find another job. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. So as a cook. Now, I'm a CEO of a major corporation and I just got fired or laid off or whatever the case may be. Now, how long do you think it would be for me to find another job as a CEO of a major corporation? Would that one be easy necessarily? No. That one may not be so easy. So that person would be what? He'd want the 6 months worth at least, maybe even more, because to find a comparable job in that profession may not be as easy. So you want a longer emergency fund that you can stand it if you did lose your job there. So to answer that question, I think I'd take a balanced approach, John, and saving, getting out of debt, as well as saving for retirement. I think I'd take a balanced approach in doing both of those.